to invest in India, Elon?
Yes.
This is going to be huge for Tesla. Elon's making some serious moves here. He just met with the Prime Minister of India, and it seems like things are moving forward and that indeed Tesla will, in perhaps the near future, announce plans to invest in India.
Well, I'm actually incredibly excited about the future of India. I think India has more promise than any large country in the world.
The takeaways from the meeting.
Takeaways from the meeting. He really cares about India because he's pushing us to make significant investments in India, which it is something that we intend to do, and we're just trying to figure out the right timing. In a nutshell, it was a fantastic meeting with the Prime Minister, and I like him quite a lot. He visited our Fremont factory several years ago.
This kind of Elon I love. He just met with the Prime Minister of Italy and then the President of France, and in this interview he did say that he liked the President of France, and now he meets with the Prime Minister of India. He is going to be negotiating a really good deal for Tesla because it is obvious he's meeting everyone, and if someone is not giving Elon a deal to build a new factory for Tesla, he's not going to take the deal. The pressure is on, and this is why I really like that Elon is no longer the CEO of Twitter, because he now has so much more time to meet with all of these leaders and negotiate better deals for Tesla.
And so we've now known each other for a while. I can say he really wants to do the right thing for India. He wants to be open. He wants to be supportive of new companies, and obviously, but at the same time, make sure it accrues to India's advantage, which is, obviously, that's the job. I'm saying I am a fan of Modi, so I have to say that.
What are your future plans personally? What do you look at as far as investment in India is concerned?
Yeah, well, I think there's a tremendous amount of potential for all three pillars of the sustainable energy future. The three pillars being sustainable energy generation through solar and wind primarily, and obviously India is great for solar, the amount of land area you actually need to generate enough electricity to power India is very small. I believe it'd be probably 1 or 2% of the land area of India. So it's very doable. And then you need to pair that with stationary battery packs because the sun doesn't shine at night. And then you need electric vehicles. And then you have a sustainable energy future. And I think it will, the interesting thing people will find is that this is a lower cost way to go as well. That may surprise people.
I think when we talk to all of the leaders of countries, and especially the leaders of poorer countries, we should make that the main talking point. It's not so much about the renewable energy, of course, that is important, but that's really perhaps a secondary point because it is actually cheaper. It will save everyone money. How can you reject this idea that will save everyone money? Then you basically take the politics out of the whole thing. Now, if you say, we're worried about global warming, let's say, or we want to work on renewable energy, people think that you are maybe in a certain political party. But if you just say, hey, look, we just want to save money for everyone, I think that takes out a lot of the heat out of this discussion.
And we're also hopefully looking forward to bringing Starlink to India as well. The Starlink internet, which I think can be incredibly helpful for sort of remote or rural villages where they perhaps may have no access to internet, or the internet's very expensive and slow.
Until now, actually, I never really considered moving away from a bigger city because the internet sucks in a rural area. But with Starlink, and we have one, and it works great. But maybe I will change my mind, and maybe one day I will move to an area that is not in a big city. Although losing access to a lot of different restaurants, I would miss that. So I'm not sure about it.
You plan to visit India anytime soon, but did Prime Minister extend an invitation to you?
He did. Yes, I'm tentatively planning to visit India again next year. I'm looking forward to it.
Okay, I think it would be pretty safe to say that until Elon actually visits India himself, Tesla is not going to announce a new factory officially in India. If you remember, we saw Elon visit Mexico towards the end of 2022, and it still took many months for Tesla to announce officially that the new factory would be built in Mexico. So I think we might get something similar here as well.
I'm confident that Tesla will win in India and will do so as soon as humanly possible. I'd like to thank the Prime Minister for his support, and hopefully we'll be able to announce something in the not too distant future.
Are you looking to invest in India, Elon?
Yes.
I think you can only really laugh like this if you are winning. And looking at Elon Musk lately and Tesla stock, he is indeed winning. And if you have been buying Tesla stock this whole year like I have been, then we can all join Elon and laugh exactly like that.
How soon can we have Tesla in India?
Well, we don't want to jump the gun. We don't want to jump the gun on an announcement, but I think it's quite likely that there will be a significant investment and relationship with India in the future.
That's big news. What made you change your mind?
I've never changed my mind.
I don't know, maybe comment if you feel the same way too, but every time I see Elon laugh like that, I just feel a little bit better. Overall, it seems that this meeting was quite productive and both men look quite happy. And now Sandy Munro makes a prediction with which I fully 100% agree.
I keep making reference to the difference between plugs. So I brought this. This is an English plug, and this is an American plug. Now, at the end of the day, you can see right off the bat, this one is huge, this one is small. If I had a Europe, there's going to be saying, oh yeah, but it's running 220, well, or 240. At the end of the day, I can plug this into a 220 as well, and I do. When I'm in China or Japan or whatever, and they run 220, I can plug this thing in, and guess what? My transformer will take care of it for my computer. But this is a monster-sized plug. This thing costs the British every day. Every time somebody buys an appliance, one of these great big honking devices is on the end of it. This is the kind of thing that should have been taken into account when they went with CCS-1. So I'm going to make another prediction. I made a prediction more than a year ago now that, hey, you know what? Everybody is eventually going to have to go to the Tesla charging system. And the reason for that is because the chargers that are out there just don't work as well as what Tesla does. And now we're seeing, okay, Aptera, and now Ford was a big OEM that came first, and then we have GM, and now we have Rivian. But let's think about it. How are the other guys? What are they going to do? As far as I'm concerned, Hyundai and Kia have nothing to lose.
At this point, making a prediction that Hyundai and Kia will join the Tesla charging network is really too easy. It will happen. It's just a matter of time.
I mean, who wants something that's ugly, heavy, and doesn't work?
Well, the Europeans may want that. I mean, they had a whole committee design this charger, which Tesla is now trying to replace, and Tesla's charger is much better. But the Europeans are pretty stubborn, so do not underestimate their incompetence.
As far as I'm concerned, moving toward this new way of doing business is the only solution, really, for people like Hyundai, Kia, and then eventually I think Toyota, and eventually Honda. The only guys that I see that are really going to be in trouble are going to probably be VW, because they've hung their hat on a system that now they tried to push through, and maybe it'll work in Europe.
Like I said, Europeans may actually want that. Europeans, if you didn't know, sometimes they have committees for making more committees. That's how many committees they actually have. That is a bit tongue-in-cheek, of course, but there's so much regulation in Europe. That is one reason why I personally left Europe and I came here to Canada. Canada is quite a bit better compared to Europe.
The people who don't move quickly will definitely be losers.
Troy posted his latest calculation of the Tesla backlog, and yes, Tesla still does have a little bit of a backlog, even though there is inventory, and that is possible because some trims do have a backlog and the others don't really. And so, of course, a Tesla bear had to give his take on that backlog.
I follow this guy on Patreon, Troy Teslike. Okay, he tracks Tesla's backlog, okay, and their inventory and their days waiting. In the U.S. right now, The backlog is for 18,000 cars. This stock just gained 2% in the last hour of the day. This is Tesla. I'm switching gears here, bro.
Okay, go again.
Okay. In an area where there are no gears, I'm switching gears here. Okay. Like in China, the backlog right now is for 13,000 cars. So Tesla has appreciated the way it has over the last month during all these announcements about
because they have recurring revenue now.
Right.
Because they're changing the business model.
Which is fantastic, but the stock has also gained $300 billion in market cap during this same time period when people are going to be using a different like little connector to charge their electric car.
And Tesla for every single time.
No, they're not. You know why? Here's the thing. Mel, if you want a Tesla right now, okay, the wait time is the lowest it's been in like years, okay, and they're offering 3 years of free supercharging. So this is going to be the ultimate commodity. Okay, it's going to be the ultimate commodity. I just don't get, there's like insanity going on here, people. I mean, like, and everyone thinks this is normal, and this is going to be another $1 trillion market cap company, part of this magnificent seven that you guys are all calling it. Nifty 50 Doug Katz. What do we got here? He's going to tweet them out. We got them all the names for all the moves in the markets over the last 50 years. It doesn't end well when they start naming things. Remember FANG? Those stocks all lost like 70% of their value from their highs in November 2020.
How credible is he? Well, just earlier, he said that Tesla stock is going down, and I'm very serious about this. This is not a joke. He actually said this, and this was his actual price target, to $69. And that misled some people. Farzad tweeted, guys, okay, please help me understand why it's not going to $60. People told me 60 soon, but it's not doing it. What is going on? And that was more than a week ago. Tesla stock was not as high as it is right now. Poor Farzad. Although, of course, Farzad meant that sarcastically. And YouTube wants you to watch this video next, and in this video, if you haven't seen this one yet, I explain why Tesla board members are now buying more Tesla stock. My name is Matt Post. Just like and subscribe if you haven't yet, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.